Good morning, guys. Douglas Street end, tracking this CSO overflow that we had in earlier in the week. Two different rain events, both caused CSO events. There were CSO alerts in the canal for two separate incidences. Top of the canal is frozen here. There's enough fresh water to make that top freeze. The debris is, the solids, the CSO stuff is disgusting. It's really stinky right here. It smells like an open sewer, and here there's our luxury development all down there, here, right? These guys are going to be open and full. They're going to be selling their units at some point this year, I would imagine. And this is our CSO tank. That's going to take another 4 to 5 years to complete. Before that comes online, we got all these other units that are going to be full or being sold way before there's anything to mitigate this problem right here. Still got this issue at the top of the canal where the leak is coming through the Douglas Street end, the coal tar leak, Napple. I don't hear any solutions for that. I'm not sure who was involved. There we go, guys. CSO event happening right before our eyes. I'm here at 9th Street Bridge. You can see the water on that side, brown and disgusting, held in by the bulkhead, this dolphin bulkhead right here. The drain is right underneath the bridge, goes all the way up 9th Street, part of the $74 million sewer upgrade that happened the past few years. Makes for a bigger, faster, more efficient CSO event in the canal. Ugly day. Hi guys, how you doing? I'm right at the end of 2nd Avenue now. This is the second largest CSO outfall in the canal, and it's running quite well right now. You can see it. I'm sure if we just hang out here, we'll see you. Oh, look, there's tissue paper, toilet paper. This is active CSO, Combined Sewer Overflow, right? This is it coming out right here. It's been running for a bit already, so probably the worst poopy bits have flushed and gone, but you can see it flowing right here. I think these outfalls are 4 or 5 in a row, I think. I can see all kinds of stuff coming out. Here we go. Toilet paper, wet wipes, saw a pill bottle come out. This is it actually dumping right here. There's meant to be data for volumes of CSO per outfall. I haven't been able to find any of that. Would like to correlate it with here we are, guys, opposite Carroll Street CSO. You can see that flowing right there in that little berm of solids. That is all poop debris, CSO solids coming out. That's the fiber, the floaty parts, right? I'm sure there's all the usual suspects in there: condoms, applicators, sanitary pads. I'm sure it's all happening. Not sure why only one of those is flowing. It's a little odd. But you can see there that little eddy of nastiness. That is fairly typical of a combined sewer overflow event. Work my way up the canal, get up to Douglas Street next, and I'm sure that will be flowing too. Maybe we'll see it Union and the other CSOs along the way. Hi guys, how you doing? Saturday afternoon, early evening. I came back to the
the head of the canal because the rain got more intense, and yes, it is actually flowing harder more now, and there's a lot more debris here up at Butler Street CSO outfall. You can see a little bit of foam and stuff coming out of there. Maybe not good enough with this camera. A lot of debris, a lot of CSO debris. I don't know, looks like there's probably a condom there. Gloves, pads, wet wipes, always the worst. Yeah, we gotta, you can see how fast the current is moving. This is faster than any current in the canal on a typical tidal exchange. This is CSO. This is Combined Sewer Overflow, filling up the entire canal. And it's disgusting. It stinks. It smells like sewer. Yeah. All our development, all waiting to come online. It's Monday evening, doing my water quality testing on the way home today, just for a change. Low tide, I think low tide and rising. Canal is particularly dark and brown looking. Low tide, this napple, this coal tar still coming out. Let's go along the bulkhead. We'll see if we can see where it's coming from. Here we go. We got this street drain. It's still flowing. The napple is not coming out of there, or at least not much. This that flow pattern that you can see is just the stuff on either side. But it is blooming up here somewhere. So apparently the napple is coming through this bulkhead. You can see it's kind of cracked and a little aged. It's coming through, running down the face, pooling across the bottom of the canal, and then the ebullition, which is starting because we've just had yet another CSO event this past weekend, makes it bloom on the surface. Morning guys, CSO event happening right now. Got actual turds I can see in the water. Not very often that you can actually identify them so easily. Usually get broken up as they go through the sewers with all the stormwater action and tumbling that happens. You only get the floaty speckles, but that's turds right there. We got tissue paper, we got wet wipes, all kinds of nastiness, and it stinks. It's really smelly. It totally smells like sewer. Alright, there we go guys. There's your real estate. Open sewer frontage. Not sure how you're going to sell that. Good morning guys, up at Douglas Street street end. Canal's looking pretty ugly today, very dark and dirty, lots of small debris. We got ebullition starting from the freshest deposit yesterday, about mid-tide right now, dropping, getting into some of our larger tides. I think just over 5 feet today. It's going to get into some larger tides next week. I think it's our biggest tides of the month, actually for the year as well. These are going to be some pretty big tides. We got the DEP in the head house here. This pump station pumps sewage from this end of the watershed up over the hill to the Navy Yard, and can keep up with some of the rain events. They kind of speed the pump up, but they have to service the pumps after most CSO events, so it looks like they're in there today servicing the pumps. We did have a CSO event yesterday, and we're expecting a rather heroic rain flood event today, 1 to 3 inches. Good morning, guys. 9th Street Bridge. Canal is exceptionally dirty this morning. Very brown, dark brown. Lots of little speckles of CSO. Big rain event yesterday. CSO alert in place in the canal right now. All these little floaty bits is all from the sewer. Got coal tar. Doing my first test of the morning. We have a wet wipe right there, floating by, or maybe a piece of plastic. Can't actually tell what that is. Flotsam. Looking ugly. See what the numbers are. Good morning, guys. Up at 4th Street Turning Basin. Still seeing quite a bit of debris, CSO related debris. All of these little tiny speckles, the little floaty bits is all CSO, all kinds of small plastics, floaties out there. I don't know if we can see it. Camera can't see it. Maybe out there. I think I can see it. Wet wipes, small plastics, etc. Got a fascinating high tide this morning, a higher high. Last night we had a high tide, a small high tide, 4.5 feet, and this morning we have a 5.4 higher high. Got a double bump, getting to some of the highest tides of the season across the weekend. I'll keep you posted, make sure there's no rain and flooding associated with it. Morning, guys. I am trying to sneak up on the mummy chalk here in the little tide pool overspill from this storm drain. Typically this water is almost fresh. I can see a ton of them in there right now. I don't know if you can see those guys. I'll see if I can sneak up a little bit closer. These fish are amazing. Oh, they're seeing me. So they're all gonna start swirling around. Oh yeah, there they go. All gonna hide in underneath the rocks. I don't know, there's hundreds in there. They spawn above the high tide line, and then the eggs develop as they're waiting for the next tide, and then hatch on the next tide. There is hundreds in there. I love it. First time I've seen them back this year is this week. I started to notice them. They are incredibly hardy, pollution tolerant, obviously, while they're in here. They also stay within 500 feet of where they spawn, where they hatched out. Can't see them very well now. But here they are in this waterway. This waterway is alive. I love it. Good morning, guys. 2nd Street dock. The work barge here is setting up for grout. They got the end of the street cordoned off. Got this whole end cordoned off. They're going to reach out over and start grouting south to north. Get all this stuff grouted, and then this part will be absolutely done. Still something going on with 1st Street Turning Basin. That's still got to be figured out. But looks like we're getting close to being able to get back in the canal. Just doing my water quality testing. Expecting the numbers to be dropping a little bit this week. 7 days since that last heroic CSO overflow. Canal is looking a little green, but we'll see how it is. Up at Douglas is always the worst. Working my way up. Good morning, guys. Up at the head of the canal, a lot of coal tar coming out mid-tide. A lot of debris down there. That debris's been floating up and down. A little stinky. Lots of ebullition up at the top of the canal. 7 days since that massive CSO event last weekend. You can see how much coal tar we got here, and then I'll go all the way up, coming through this bulkhead. This is what I think is happening right here. You can see it just blooming like crazy. There's a big puddle of coal tar on the bottom of the canal, and it is oozing through this bulkhead. It has got cracks, and it's coming through from the upland side. You can see in here we got like real black gobs floating on the surface and on the side of the bulkhead, and here it is just blooming away like crazy, partly because of the CSO event. Deposits a fresh layer of poop on the bottom, and that is rotting and bubbling right now, and it's bringing up the coal tar. Good morning, guys. Douglas Street end. Ebullition still continuing. Probably will continue for a few more days yet. You can see the bubbles coming up. Every so often a bubble will bring up a bead of coal tar. There we are, blooming. This coal tar is coming through this bulkhead. It is from upland from here. It's a little hard to tell if it's coming through breaks. I mean, it's definitely weeping through the bulkhead. The EPA have told us that. There's a crack just above the bottom of the canal where the coal tar is coming through, and it's weeping through there and pooling across the bottom of the canal. Could also be coming from up in the pipe somewhere, or maybe there's a fracture up in Flushing Tunnel. Hard to tell where it's coming from, except that it is, you know, actively pooling across. And when we get ebullition like this from the CSO, then that makes it appear on the surface. That brings it to the surface and allows us to see it, and it spreads. Good evening, guys. Up at Douglas Street end. Haven't tested in a few days. I've been working in Manhattan, so haven't been able to do my usual test on the way into the Navy Yard. A little bit of a surprise. There's been a west wind. Enterococcus numbers have been really good at 2nd Street. But up here at the head of the canal, it's still pretty gross and disgusting. It's pretty stinky. We got some classic CSO debris. All right, there you go. Somebody was super neat with this guy. This condom, they tied a knot in it and flushed it anyway. We got a Gowanus football, which I haven't seen in quite a while. I think the mayor's rat czar is doing a good job. I mean, but there is a rat right there. Haven't seen too many of them, not like last summer. A lot of other stinky debris here. It's real stinky. Surprising to me how bad it is. Still up this end, still coal tar blooming. That's just not going to go away. Be interested to see what this DO is. This looks very hazy and milky to me, so this tells me that there is a bacterial bloom. Good morning, guys. Saturday morning, 9th Street Bridge. Rain's just coming in a little heavy right now. CSO event in place. The canal is pretty stinky. Notification system is a little wacky. It's not very good lately. I'm not sure why. DEP or Notify NYC, there seems to be some discrepancy in data and times and when it's all coming out. Owl's Head got a notification on the Wait app. Red Hook got a notification via the Notify NYC app, email. It's a little confusing, the data, but there is without a doubt a large CSO event today. 2.5 to 3.5 inches, flood watches in effect. Oh, there's a poop going by. There's a little poop speckle. That's an actual turd right there. That's funny. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Haven't been able to test for a few days. I've been working in Manhattan, and that is a different commute time, so I'm not able to come up the canal, but doing it today. Okay, morning guys, up at the end of 2nd Avenue right now. This is the second largest overflow. All of this here, these floaties, this is all poop spreckles and fiber and floaty bits of sewage. And I'm going to go around the corner here and we will see. This is where it's all coming out. So this is the end of 2nd Avenue, the second largest overflow, CSO overflow. Combined Sewer Overflow. There we go, look, as the pad just came out right there, right? How you know it's CSO? Bits of toilet paper. So anybody that is up in this sewer shed, the local sewer pipes, there's a big thing came through right there, look. Oh, this is nasty. This is stinky. Anybody that's flushing their toilet uphill from here, your poop will come out right now. It's just direct into the sewer system and comes out into the canal. All kinds of nastiness and solids here. Pretty disgusting. Morning guys, I'm here at the end of 2nd Avenue. This CSO is the second largest volume of CSO into the canal, and this is why it is Owl's Head facility. The CSO tank that's going to be built right here is Owl's Head. This is a separate sewer shed on this bank. This is all of Park Slope, large area, right? This is Owl's Head sewer shed. That sewer treatment facility is down at Bay Ridge, right? Now this side, the opposite bank, the Red Hook side, that sewer shed is the treatment facility at the Army, at the Navy Yard, sorry. And that tank that's being built is all those cranes in the distance there, those short stubby ones. That's the Owl's Head tank, the Red Hook tank. And that is a separate sewer shed. So on this side, on this bank, is Red Hook, and on this bank is Owl's Head. Two entirely separate sewer sheds that both contribute to the CSO. So this is a DEP subcontractor testing stormwater, rainwater that is going through or exiting into the canal right there. The guy just told me they have 5 stations around. They try and track rain events. So yeah, I would love to see this data. Be interesting to see what it shows. Great, cheering you guys on. U-Haul in the middle of the street doing government work. Morning guys, 4th Street turning basin. At my usual spot, the buoy monitor turbidity monitor, dissolved oxygen monitor that was at the mouth of the turning basin has been moved here real close to where I monitor. That's great. We'll get a really good correlation of data right there. Interesting that the amount of CSO is backing up into 4th Street turning basin right here. Everything you see here, all these brown speckles, that's fiber from people's poop. That's all you healthy vegetarians, well done. There's condoms, 1, 2, 3, 4 condoms out there, applicators, pads, you know, all the telltale signs of a CSO. It's pretty rank and disgusting. It's just always shocking to me, you know, that New York City does this. It's just so backwards. But here we are. We're going to do the testing, and we're going to keep. I'm going to keep, you know, keep at it. Try and get the data. Good morning, guys. Up at Douglas Street street end. There's not a lot of debris here. There's been enough flow to push most of the floating debris out, like it's been here all week. But there is some flotsam CSO debris, tissue paper, bits of floaties and things. In there, this is the pump house, DEP pump house. That is Butler Street CSO Overflow, the largest overflow in the canal. That U-Haul truck right there is the same subcontractors that were down at 2nd Avenue testing rainwater, CSO water from the actual drains. So they come down close, lift a drain cover, put their collection stuff in there, and suck up some samples. It is rank and disgusting. It totally smells like I'm in a sewer right now. It's nasty and stinky. You can see a lot of debris up in the boom there. A lot of floating debris that's come through the CSO there is caught on the edge of the boom. Hi guys, how you doing? Douglas Street street end. It's very stinky and nasty up here. Little bits of CSO debris. This is enough flow that most of the debris gets pushed out. You can see some up there on that oil boom that's stretched across there, that's gathering there. Nasty, weird bits of flotsam. But here's a strange thing. Somebody has set up a game camera looking down here. I guess they're probably trying to capture the coal tar blooms. Magnet, bit of wood, definitely jury rigged, works. Not sure how it's transmitting, so I don't know, maybe somebody has to come by and link to it to get the data, but wonder, I'll ask, see if anybody knows whose that is. Interesting. It's a nasty day for the canal. This is a big rain event, potential street flooding. Tides are not big enough to be an issue for coastal flooding as far as rain on top of tide. Good morning, guys. Pretty much off the end of 1st Street right now. Got the rack line, the debris line of what gets pushed around by the tide and the wind. Full of CSO debris. This is from Thursday, right? We got condoms, we got pads, we got all kinds of things in here. Everything that's been flushed. Everything is washed down the drains. It's pretty ugly. And we got this continuing development. You know, these guys just don't stop, right? They're pushing hard, get their units open. They're all going to be adding to this CSO problem every time it rains. This is going to get worse until it gets better in 5 or 6 years time when the CSO tanks come online. But this is going to get pretty ugly. It's going to be very interesting to track this throughout the year, see what happens. Hey guys, got a rising tide. Those mummy chog are thick in the little tide pool here. The outspill of this storm drain usually has a ghost stream, or there's a ghost stream water that gets in there as well. Pretty fresh. Rising tide. This shoreline was pretty vibrant last year. We had all kinds of fiddler crabs and life was moving in. Did not survive the summer season with the DO plunges, killed everything. Mummy chog are back, that's great. Love that those guys are so hardy and tough. Tracking the water just to see how it copes with this season. We need Flushing Tunnel needs to come back on and, you know, just give it a nudge in the right direction. CSO is going to get worse until it gets better. All of these buildings are coming online way before any of the CSO mitigation stuff comes online. So it's going to get rough until it gets better.